Britain is in turmoil. Just this month, nearly 200,000 people marched through London in the largest anti-immigration protest since World War II, led by activist Tommy Robinson. This mass anger isn't just about jobs or borders. It's fueled by one of Britain's darkest secrets, the decades-long Grooming Gang scandal. For over 30 years, organized networks, mainly of Pakistani Muslim men, have systematically targeted and sexually exploited thousands of vulnerable, mostly white, British girls. The 2014 JARE report exposed what many tried to hide. At least 1,400 children were abused in Rotherham between 1997 and 2013. Similar gangs have operated in cities like Telford, Oxford, Rochdale, and Derby. In Telford alone, up to 1,000 children were abused over 4 decades. Recent audits revealed grooming gang activities in 85 towns stretching back to the 1960s. White girls aged 11 to 16 were picked out for vulnerability, often from troubled homes or foster care. Typical tactics began with gifts, affection, and attention, then escalated to isolation, drugging, and rape by multiple perpetrators. Victims were made to feel this abuse was normal growing up. One survivor revealed they had a list of girls. After each rape, they ticked the girl's name off. Another said she was raped over 100 times by men from all over the UK. These aren't isolated incidents. According to official data, 1 in 1,700 Pakistani men over 16 in England and Wales have been prosecuted for grooming gang offences since 1997. In Rotherham, that figure spikes to 1 in 73. The Casey report found that 62% of people convicted in Rotherham's notorious Operation Stovewood were Pakistani men. In West Yorkshire, 62% of identified suspects in group child exploitation were Pakistani origin. Yet, Pakistanis make up just 2.7% of the UK population. That's massive overrepresentation in such a disgusting crime. Children, mostly girls as young as 11, have been victims of sexual abuse by grooming gangs. They are raped, trafficked, abducted, and beaten up. One particular case that shocked the entire world was the Rotherham scandal. It started in the late 1980s and went on to the 2010s. It was proof of the failure of authorities and law enforcement agencies in acting against abuse. The prime accused in this scandal is the Hussain brothers, who are British men of Pakistani origin. The victims were forced to perform sexual acts, often on several men at a time, and were forced to store weapons and drugs for the gang. Sammy Woodhouse was a victim of the Rotherham scandal. She became pregnant after being raped by Arshid Hussain. Arshid Hussain, aka Mad Ash, was the ringleader of the Rotherham gang. In 2016, Arshid was jailed for 35 years, while his brothers, Basharat and Banaras, were jailed for 25 and 19 years respectively. Of the 54 abused children linked to the Hussain brothers, 18 called Arshid their boyfriend. Men of Pakistani origin have been behind many of the sexual grooming cases in the UK. A 2017 report found that 84% of child sexual exploitation offenders who operate in gangs are Asians, mostly Pakistanis. Grooming is still on the rise in the UK, and dozens of victims who've been through this ordeal still await justice. This year, Rishi Sunak unveiled plans to create a task force to crack down on grooming gangs. But is this enough to stamp out the evil of sexual grooming in the UK? And will the government act despite political pressure? What are your views on this? Let me know in the comments.